This is an unspoken reality. My sister just shared the post. I shared the post too. I might as well speak on it. I get to arguing about this shit a lot. But it's an unspoken reality that has to deal with what is called feminism. There's two realities actually. There's subjective feminism, and then there's objective feminism. If you notice, you're like, this nigga always talking about some subjective shit and some objective shit. What does that even mean? This is a perfect video to go over what objective means and what does subjective mean. Subjective means, or subjective can be equated to a fallacy. It's an illogical point that was made and that is basically progressed on. Like honestly believing that black on black violence has anything to do with black people's problem. Black on black violence is a product of the system and a social reality because nature calls for it. But back to the point. Women are not equal. Let's just say that. Women are not equal. Everybody's mad now. But women are not equal. And just because you're privileged to do somebody else's work, that's not a goddamn promotion. I mean, like, the fuck is wrong with niggas? Like, cause you can work at a place. You can work for someone and make $30 an hour. If you actually listen to what you're saying, you'll realize you've always been a slave. You're mad at your woman because she makes $30 an hour working for someone else. If you were a man, you will seek to employ your woman or allow your woman to do her dream, and everybody get rich happily and shit on these crackers together. But yet again, in a male-run society, the only logical thinking for a male to think is that a woman has to work for me. How dare she have something of her own? She's a woman. That's the society that we live in. But yet again, everybody's mad as fuck because, you know, whatever excuse you have for it, honestly. But there's subjective feminism and then there's objective feminism. The reality of the world is, or one of the realities of the whole motherfucking world, no matter what continent you're on, no matter where you are, it's a great chance if you are a woman, you are a sexual object. Yeah, you got degrees, you got school, you got a lot of things. It's a great chance you are a sexual object. It is a greater chance that your father probably has no problem seeing you as a sexual object because he agrees with the social reality. And it's not to say that whatever the fuck most people think feminism is about is supposed to be about. In essence, feminism is about white male patriarchy. It's a very clear definition, right? The white male patriarchy. The only difficult word is patriarchy. We can take it back to supremacy, white male supremacy. So when we honestly understand that and deal with white male supremacy, we'll understand 90% of our problem isn't even a problem. A lot of our problem is our perspective on the problem, because going back to the beautiful word fallacy, when you start from an illogical point, you will never reach the correct answer. So understanding, yet again, that white men raped us too, and all us niggas hate to say it and talk about it because it's, you know, whatever the fuck. But that white man that raped everybody, including animals, us men, our babies, and killed our babies violently in front of our women and us, you know the story, quote unquote. That's what real feminism is about. That feminism to talk about, I hate all men and I gotta burn my bra and all that other shit. Now, don't get me wrong again. You should burn your bra and shit like that because, you know, just learning about bras and shit. But that whole hatred for men and this whole little contempt for shit and basically subjective illogical arguments, if you want to get into it really with me. The subjective illogical arguments are not real. Keep that bullshit with the white people because it keeps them happy. When you get to real quote unquote black feminism or real world events, you realize that white men fuck up the world and run the world. And guess what? It's a lot of niggas that like it because they are allowed a position in it. Ain't that right, Masons? But when you really understand that hypersexualization, effeminization, demasculization, all the beautiful words that have to deal with the perverse sexuality that is imposed by our quote-unquote oppressors, you really start to understand sex plays a major role in this shit. And also another key fucked up point that people don't want to deal with. Most of the white people that rule the world are gay as shit. Most of the white people that rule the world are gay as shit. I'll just put that point just right there. Most of the white people that rule the world are gay as shit. Our black women are triply oppressed compared to any other woman on the planet. And the number one reason for that is because we agree with the shit. We believe that the black woman ain't shit. And quote unquote all the other bullshit the bitch ass niggas say. It's some wild ass shit. But our women, black women, the most beautiful woman on the whole planet, everybody kill us for, fight us for. I'm talking about damn near one of the main reasons why this whole shit started. And guess what? If you ask a nigga, he don't give a fuck about it. If you ask a black man, he don't give a fuck about it. If you ask a god or a god body, he don't give a fuck about it. You know, and all the other groups, because ain't no point to name all you. If you ask these people, where's the reference to the black woman? You know, and I don't mean what's the feel-good information. I mean, where are your objective standpoints where you allow women to shine and do their own thing in your quote-unquote organization and community? Why aren't women allowed to even have a voice? Okay. Why are all our leaders male? Why don't most people pay as much respects to Marcus Garvey's second wife? Because the first wife gave her life for him. The second wife gave her life to making sure we knew about him. Why isn't that same respect given to her? Why the only female revolutionaries we know, quote unquote, off the top of our hand is Harriet Tubman? Why is that? Y'all hear that? I don't know if you can. That's a train that come through the black community. And they always stop on the railroad tracks in the black community. They don't do that shit on Nan Street. They don't do that shit near College Street. They do that shit in Helena. But when you deal with honesty and when you actually, quote unquote, objectively look at the situation, and if you happen to read any of the authors that I often reference, they all talk about the destruction of the black family and the necessity, if you would, of the continued self-destruction. As Amos Wilson put it, black on black violence. Damn, I ain't got the book with me. Black on black violence, I think in conjunction or in basically helping to what's the name of the title? I can't remember that. It's Amos Wilson's book, Black on Black Violence. When you really read the whole title, you'll understand what I mean. That's not just the title, Black on Black Violence. But understanding that most psychologists and people who commit themselves to the struggle actually firmly commit a strong portion of their work to giving women the space and the opportunity to even voice their opinion, because it's not possible. Black women are not treated equal. It's just a fact, man. I know it hurts your feelings. Oh, believe me, I'm a felon. My black ass in college. All that shit. All the stereotypes, all the good shit. I've been through it, been there. Probably might be back fucking around. Hopefully not, but you know, I'm black. But when you get into it, as Immortal Technique said, people always say it's hard out there for a pimp. How hard do you think it is for the quote-unquote hooker that he beat the shit out of?